Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Cool J once again, and you guys know what today is. Today is Martin Luther King Day. Everybody knows about Martin Luther King. A special day, the third Monday in January. It's January 17th, and I don't have any school. It's a special holiday right here, and I have a special guest with me, and he's familiar with me, and he's from Detroit, and his name is who are you?
I'm Ugo Strange, aka Body Slamming Newborn Baby, aka Donkey Punch Grandma, aka Insanity Wolf's second brother.
Hey, hey, what's up? Hey, you already know what today is, right?
Yep,
Yeah, so
Monday.
yeah, today is Monday, Martin Luther King Day. So I just want to ask you this question: why do we celebrate Martin Luther King?
Why do we celebrate Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah.
Well, we celebrate it to honor his memory, but I don't really think that's the exact reason why. But I mean, that's just me talking. But I mean, that's why we celebrate it to remember, to celebrate his memory and what he's done for the cause of America and for the cause of Black America specifically. Um, Other than that, I mean, unless there's another reason that I'm not privy to, those are the main reasons.
Yeah, that's nice right there. That's nice. Um, another question I want to ask you is that when Martin Luther King got shot, how did it affect the world?
I think it really affected the world. It showed that this was more than just a game. At this point in time, the civil rights movement was building a head of steam here. We had Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. They were contemporaries of their time. And when Martin Luther King got shot, he was martyred for the cause, more or less. It kind of made him um, a hero, so to speak. The fact that he was willing to lay down his life for the cause. Not that he knew he was going to die. I'm just saying that you know he knew that raising that kind of awareness about civil rights and all that would put him in the crosshairs. Would put his life in danger, and he understood all the risks and was willing to put himself out there, was willing to go out in public. And he wasn't a politician. He didn't have bodyguards and whatnot. I mean, he did, but I mean, he didn't have the level of security that the president has. And this is a guy who went out there, put himself on the line for us, and when he was shot, it really showed that he was willing to get martyred for it, and it really showed that the cause was as important as everyone said it was.
Yes, you're right about that. That's really interesting right there. And for Martin Luther King, I would say this: if Martin Luther King did not do this, if he did not do what he did, the "I Have a Dream" speech, or as he took a risk for us as African Americans, what would America be like without Martin Luther King?
I think this is just me being who I am. I think that if he didn't do it, someone else would have. There certainly were a lot of people who were on board with the cause, like Dr. King, and I think if he wouldn't have got ahead of steam, someone else definitely would have. Because, like I said, Malcolm X was going around at that time too, so it definitely would have been either one or the other, or someone else would have picked up the cause. So I really don't think. I think it just would have been later. Like, I don't think there was anything exactly special about Dr. King that he had to be the one to do this. I think it's just he was the kind of the right guy at the right time at the right moment to do it. You know, I think someone else definitely would have. I just don't think it would have built up the head of steam as it did during his time. That's just me saying that. I don't know, if anybody else says it, because it's kind of hard to speculate on what if situations like that. But that's just my take on a what if situation.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. And my last question is that if Dr. King was still living, what would he fight for? And what would he do if he was still living?
That's a tough question to ask. A lot of people seen the Boondocks episode, um, which I think isn't too far fetched, really. Believe it or not, I don't think that's too far from the truth as far as what he would say if he saw things nowadays. I mean, I think he'd be really. I think he'd be not impressed, but really moved by the fact that we have an African American president. I think that would be something that would really blow him away. I think he'd be really concerned about the state of Black America as far as the children and what's going on, the kind of things that we're involved in, the television, well, not the television, but the kind of role models we have. I think he'd be really concerned about that. Other than that, I don't think he would be, I don't think he would be any less appalled than any other African American politician out there who's trying to do something good for America. I think he would be really critical of Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, at least I hope he would be. And yeah, I think he would just be really concerned about the state of Black America. That's just me, you know.
Good answer right there. Good answer by Martin Luther King. And and the funny thing is that my grandmaster, he still has a karate class that's on Mondays every single time for Martin Luther King Day. And he told my
I
mom,
think that's good.
yeah, and he always says that he said to my mom one day, he said, "I believe that Dr. King wants me to work today."
I think that's good. I really do. I think that we we take the Martin Luther King holiday and say, oh, we're taking this day out to reflect, and we don't want kids in school, we don't want this, we don't want people to work. And I think that's not what he would want. I think if he was looking, he would want the kids in school. He would want, us to be working. He would want us to do all the things that we couldn't do in his day, or at least that we had trouble doing in his day. And I think he would really want us to do those things. And I think taking out, not doing anything today is kind of not allowing us to reflect, because we're in school every day, and it's like when we have Martin Luther King Day, it's like, hey, you couldn't be here during his day. You couldn't be here. You couldn't be in the front of the bus when he was alive. Now you can be. Now you are welcomed in school. Now you can use the water fountains. Now you can pump your gas, at a gas station using one of the regular pumps, not the pumps in the back and whatnot. You can do all these things that we couldn't do in his time. And I think that's what he would want, rather than us taking a day out, grilling and whatnot. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with grilling and all that, but I'm just saying, I think if we really want to celebrate what he stood for, I think that would be the best way to celebrate, is to do the things that he could not do, or that he had trouble doing.
Good point on that one. Good point. And before I get off and put shout outs, is there anything you else had to say about Dr. King?
I think he was a great man. I think people deify him too much. He had his flaws, just like everyone else. He wasn't perfect. And I think the better we try to understand Martin Luther King as a person, I think the better we can understand what he was, because he was a flawed individual, just like everyone else. He was not perfect. He had his issues, but I mean, he was a man who stood up for a cause, made a lot of headway. I think we should stop using him as the standard for all Black leaders in the future. And the president in the future. I think we should be more focused on what he did and just leave it at that. And instead of saying, well, such and such isn't like Dr. King, so therefore he's not a Black leader. Dr. King came up in a time where we needed Black leaders. We don't really need them today. We just need a leader, period. That's all I want to say. There you go.
Thank you, Ugo Strange. And that's
No problem.
and the guy died at 39. All I gotta say is that rest in peace to Dr. King. And and that's what I gotta say. Happy Martin Luther King Day for everybody. Celebrate Martin Luther King. Thank you, Ugo Strange, for being in this video. And what
No
else?
problem.
What I gotta say? Contact Ugo Strange Facebook, MySpace, and YouTube. And make sure you contact me Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter, and Skype me. And make sure you check out the Sports Today Show. That's all I gotta say. Me and Ugo Strange are out. Peace.